South Korea has promised to bolster its military alliance with the US amid fears that a dispute with Japan could weaken security in the region. South Korea has confirmed it will pull out of an intelligence sharing pact with Japan as a row between the two countries escalates. Last month, Seoul and Tokyo imposed trade barriers and triggered boycotts in a dispute over repatriations paid to Koreans forced to work in Japan's wartime labor camps. Now, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has accused South Korea of damaging relations.
South Korea continues to take actions which damage trust with Japan. Japan has handled the matter in an effort not to make an impact on the cooperation between Japan, the US and South Korea in the face of the current security situation in Northeast Asia. We will continue to closely coordinate with the US to ensure the regional peace and prosperity, as well as Japan's security.
Now, for more, let me draw in our correspondent in South Korea, Fabian Kretschmer. Fabian, how important is this intelligence sharing pact with Tokyo for regional security?
Yeah, quite important. Let me emphasize here, this decision came as a big surprise to most of Korea watchers. It was started in 2016, and it's the only one sharing pact between Japan and South Korea that is now going to be terminated. And it's crucial to deter the threat posed by North Korea. I can give you a concrete example. Whenever North Korea fires a missile test, then South Korea can rely on satellite technology from Japan, which is way superior, to detect those missiles. And I would say that actually South Korea is, was benefiting much more from this military sharing pact than Japan did. So it's not really a rational decision. And we can only hope that both countries will find a political solution before November 23rd, because until then, the military sharing pact is still valid, and then it will not get renewed. So I would say it's quite severe, because what actually started as a trade dispute is now even expanding to security issues.
Now, Seoul has also accused Japan of having ignored South Korea's repeated calls for dialogue and other conciliatory steps to resolve this bitter trade dispute, as you mentioned, as well as historical disputes. What's behind these accusations?
Well, I think what's behind this is that on National Independence Day, when South Korea celebrated the independence from colonial rule, just on the 15th of August, President Moon Jae-in was giving a speech, and it was quite, he toned down the rhetoric against Japan. He was saying that we will gladly join hands with Tokyo if they are willing for dialogue and cooperation. But there was no reaction whatsoever from the Japanese side, and that came as a huge political offense towards President Moon. And according to my sources, President Moon directly ordered to end this military sharing pact himself. So it's definitely also an emotional decision.
Now, both South Korea and Japan, of course, are important allies of the US. So what are the international implications of this dispute, do you think, Fabian?
Yeah, definitely for the US side, it's quite, they're really disappointed. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has said he's really disappointed. Donald Trump, too. If you ask think tank experts, Korea watchers in Washington, they even go further and say that this was a really, really foolish decision. South Korea is shooting itself in the foot, so to speak. And the foundation to deter North Korea is basically this trilateral alliance between Washington, Seoul and Tokyo. And this trilateral alliance now became two separate bilateral alliances. So South Korea wants to, of course, collaborate with the US to deter North Korea. But the axis between South Korea and Japan seems to be gone.
Fabian Kretschmer in Seoul, South Korea, thank you very much for that update from there.